You just came back from the shooting of the vaccine war.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
without divulging, because when the vaccine wars come, we definitely will talk again. But so if I was to ask you this question, how was this experience comparison to Kashmir Files?
See, both were difficult films. That film was very difficult emotionally
Yes.
to make, but simpler to make. This film emotionally perhaps was not so difficult, but intellectually it was very difficult film.
Challenging.
Extremely challenging. I mean, definitely challenging for every single person, not me, right from the carpenter to the star and the director, writer, and producer. And also, it was very difficult film to make. Extremely difficult film to make. If you want to know why,
Sure.
I can tell you, yeah, for the reason that it's based on pure science, and it's a science which hardly anybody knows. अगर IT है तो कुछ तो जानते हो साइंस के बारे में, इवन रॉकेट साइंस के बारे में कुछ तो आइडिया है लोगों को. भाई एस्केप वेलोसिटी नाम की कोई चीज़ होती है, थ्रस्ट होता है, इंजन होता है, कंबशन होता है, फायर होता है, डिस्टेंस होता है, मास, ग्रेविटी, ये चीज़ें इन्वॉल्व होती हैं. बट इन दिस साइंस वीरोलॉजी में वायरस यू कांट सी, राइट, एंड द रेमेडी यू क्रिएट वैक्सीन यू कांट सी. आई मीन वो तो लिक्विड करते हैं इसलिए पता चलता है, अदरवाइज यू कांट सी इट. यू नो what is a vaccine? It's a virus itself. So you can't see nothing. Okay, and it doesn't have huge factories and all that in one small lab. So many people, 5-6 people are working together and just looking at the virus grow and isolate it and then make a vaccine out of it. But that small space where these 5-6 people are working is more sensitive than a radioactive zone or a nuclear plant or a nuclear bomb shell or something like that. Because one virus goes out of any kind, then it can cause any. So in the new bioterror world, BSL-4 labs, which is the biosafety level 4, which is the highest in the world, वो जहाँ से वुहान में लीक हुआ था या नहीं हुआ था, जो भी है, that is a BSL-4 lab. It was made after India. India made in 2012, they made in 2017. We made in Pune, they made in Wuhan. So, and we made an indigenous without any outside funding, and they made it with Americas and French money.
Yeah.
So, and ours is a far superior lab than theirs, undoubtedly. I know it now for sure. तो अब वो इतनी छोटी सी स्पेस में confined, then you've got oxygen tubes, people are wearing all these masks, and mask means these like space, this thing, the face covers. Their body is like 10 feet wide because of the oxygen blown inside their costumes. They can't even walk properly, forget talking, their sound you can't hear. How do you make a film and tell people that, look, this is what we were doing when you were locked up in your house for 1 year?
Yeah, it's really hard.
So it's a very difficult film. Then to understand that science, the technical thing, convert it into, first understand yourself, convert it into layman's language, and then make your actors deliver it like scientists. You know? And none of these actors I worked with have any science background. Zero. Nana Patekar, zero science background. Okay, Pallavi, zero science background. Other actors also we had a zero science background, you know. Then DOP cameraman doesn't know any science of it. Nobody knows. So suddenly from dark, there is a bunch of 4 or 5 assistant directors with me who have researched for 1.5 years, met these scientists, spent time in the lab. Now we are kind of a semi-masters of this subject. To make this film was very challenging. Second thing is, you do podcasts all the time. Now, you know when the podcast begins in first 2 minutes, you know where it is going, how it's going, you feel confident, you get the vibes and all that.
Yes.
Because it's your mastery.
Yes.
Similarly, when we start a film, within 1 or 2 days, we know that the film is in our control or not. I'm not saying hit and flop. I'm saying whether you will be able to
the creative process.
You know that, yes, ये मेरे लिए बड़ी बात नहीं है. But in this film, none of the imagery was familiar. Okay, none of the dialogues were familiar, none of the characters you have ever imagined that you will deal with these kind of characters. So you are totally dealing in a territory which your eyes have not seen before.
Yes.
Therefore your mind can't comprehend it easily. So first 20-30 days we were struggling whether we are doing it right or not. We didn't know. Standard ही नहीं था कुशल की हम सही जा रहे हैं गलत जा रहे हैं.
Yeah.
अब किसी को रोना है तो मैं within half a second I can tell you कि हाँ ये सही रो रहा है या गलत रो रहा है. Right? But a scientist telling something in the mask and the other scientist responding in the mask without any lip reading, only seeing eyes, is very difficult to say whether you are doing it right or wrong.
That's a good point.
You know, then the locations are different. अभी किसी सोफा सेट लगाए ड्राइंग रूम में, उसमें कोई आया ऐसे बैठ गया तो मैं समझ जाऊंगा कि हाँ भाई ये ठाट बाट वाला आदमी है, कोई ऐसे बैठा मैं समझ जाऊंगा ये जूनियर है. You immediately understand with the body language in a living room who is who and what is the character. Here inside a lab, how do you know the character of people, or inside the administrative office or wherever? How do you know? This is the problem. So we struggled a lot. Now we are struggling at the editing stage. We'll struggle at the marketing stage. Then we'll struggle at the viewing stage. Let's see.
I sincerely look forward to this movie because I think people, India's COVID story, you know, they tried to, you know, really do a number on us with the whole, you know, mass graves की जो photos बताना, वो funeral pyres
That
की.
was a sad part, yeah.
Yeah, that I mean the Delta wave के time पे, I think it is nothing short of a miracle how this country has managed its entire COVID program, from the vaccination to the dissemination of the vaccine itself. लोगों को realize नहीं होता है 140 करोड़ लोगों का देश है, उसमें अगर 100 करोड़ लोग eligible for vaccine थे, इस लेवल का प्रोग्राम इस लेवल तक लेके जाना और उसमें भी वैक्सीन हेजिटेंसी इतनी मिनिमल होना. आई मीन पीपल नो हाउ मच वैक्सीन हेजिटेंसी एग्जिस्ट इन द वेस्ट, और यहाँ पे लोगों ने ट्रस्ट किया गवर्नमेंट को.
नहीं, बीच में बहुत ज़बरदस्त फेज आया था वैक्सीन हेजिटेंसी का, बिटवीन आई थिंक when we did few tens of crores or 50 crores 60 crores के बाद एक फेज आया था. It dipped so badly because media was not covering it. People don't know. When I researched, I figured out, हमें पता चला कि एक फेज आया था, वैक्सीन हेजिटेंसी इतनी ज़्यादा बढ़ गई थी कि इवन पढ़े लिखे लोगों ने जाना बंद कर दिया था. और दो, and then how it was tackled is another story, you know. Then the government invited all the RJs and stars and sports people, this and that was a good move. You know, when Sachin Tendulkar said मैंने वैक्सीन ले ली है, अक्षय कुमार said that, when RJs started saying, actually RJs से सबसे बड़ा टर्न अराउंड हुआ था, because RJs people think कि अरे अच्छा ये भी ले रहे हैं तो हमारी तरह मॉडर्न लोग हैं. तो लॉट ऑफ अर्बन, आपको पता है कि बाराबंकी में पूरा का पूरा गांव नदी में कूद गया था. when these people went there,
बाप रे,
मेरे पास फोटोज हैं सारी. हाँ, I don't know if we'll use in the film or not, maybe we'll use. तो पूरा का पूरा गांव नदी में कूद गया था. केरला में in one place पूरा का पूरा गांव नारियल के पेड़ पे चढ़ गया था. Right, these are straight form of funny comedy or slapstick film, but it actually has happened. And UNO की रिपोर्ट है that Indian COVID workers are the most beaten up volunteers in the world. इतनी पिटाई हुई है, ये गांव में डंडों से पिटे हैं, इनको जूते मारे गए हैं, कई जगह पे तो औरतों ने इनको क्या जिससे रोटी बनाते हैं बेलन, उनसे मारा है इन लोगों को.
बाप रे.
तो all that has happened, and it has happened courtesy 100% without any doubt in my mind, in black and white. It happened because local level पे हमारे पास तो रिकॉर्डिंग्स हैं सारी की सारी. लोकल लेवल पे जो लीडर्स थे उन लोगों ने दे स्टार्टेड सेइंग ये तो संघी वैक्सीन है, ये तो मोदी की वैक्सीन है, इसमें तो पानी है. और एक स्टेज ये आ गई थी, वैक्सीन मैन्युफैक्चरर स्टार्टेड ब्लेमिंग ईच अदर. वो बोल रहा है कि इसकी वैक्सीन पानी है, वो कह रहा है उसकी वैक्सीन पानी है. ये भारत बायोटेक और उसके बीच में आदर के बीच में एक बड़ा मैसिव वो हुआ था. इन सब के बावजूद इतनी स्लो ब्यूरोक्रेसी, रेड टेपिज्म, करप्शन, एवरीथिंग के बावजूद टू मेक अ वैक्सीन इन 7 months, इंडिजिनस वैक्सीन out of an old technology, and thank God we used the killed virus vaccine. It is the safest and the most effective vaccine today, and this is the only vaccine, there is no controversy around it, not even one.
और याद होगा पता नहीं कोवैक्सीन को इंटरनेशनली रिकॉग्नाइज करने के लिए भी कितने ये लोग ने रोड ब्लॉक्स डाले थे. फाइनली इनको झक मरा के करना पड़ा. मैसिव
मतलब वो तो एक वॉर. दैट्स व्हाई इट्स कॉल्ड द वैक्सीन वॉर. इट्स नॉट कॉल्ड द वैक्सीन स्टोरी.
या
इट्स कॉल्ड द वैक्सीन.
नो, इट इज अ वॉर. आई एग्री विथ यू. आई रिमेंबर द काइंड ऑफ shenanigans that were done to actually let this happen. But yeah, I think kudos to India. I think the Indian story about the vaccine is something, it's in fact it is one of India's success stories, and I'm glad you're making a movie on it.
Yeah, but the problem is that nobody knows who this story is all about. People think acha Indian vaccine स्टोरी, सो दो ही नाम लोगों के दिमाग में आते हैं, या तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी या फिर भारत बायोटेक और आदर पूना वाला, ये तीन नाम आते हैं. यस, ऑफ कोर्स देयर कंट्रीब्यूशन इज इमेंस एंड विदाउट लीडरशिप यू कांट, गुड लीडरशिप यू कांट डू एनीथिंग. बट जो रियल हीरोज हैं उनके बारे में तो कोई नाम भी नहीं लेता, कोई जानता भी नहीं वो कहाँ है, किस शहर में कौन है. So this film will tell you exactly who are the real heroes behind the vaccine.